Hi, I'm Simon Locke, aka Aergan. This should hopefully be a mini room tour video of sorts. This was requested by Gruss Newton of GRS, Gruss's Retro Stream fame. So hopefully it'll turn out okay. I'm not really a big fan of being in front of the camera. I'm more of I like to show things as opposed to talk in front of the camera. So this is all new to me, somewhat scary. So hopefully it goes okay. Not really my kind of thing if I'm really honest, but I'll try my best. Without further ado then, I'll show you some of the things I've fixed, some of the games I play, and some of the systems and how they're all set up. Here's my Sega Master System games. Some more hiding behind here. From overall favourite, Sonic Chaos. This is my original childhood copy, which I rebought from someone in Bristol, which is not too far where I used to live. I used to stick green star stickers on the inside of the cases with my initials on them, and this one turned up and it actually had one of those in there, so that's how I know it's definitely my original childhood copy. So I was very pleased, to say the least, when that turned up, so I'm happy to have that back. Played it recently and completed it again. Great game, absolutely great game. Over here we have my Sega Mega Drive Black Spine games. Some more hiding behind here. Big fan of the Mega Drive. Some Blue Spine games. Hiding in behind them Rise of the Robots and the Smurfs. Not going to talk about them too. Keep those for comedic value. Top here, Sony PlayStation games. Moving on to PlayStation 2. Got too many games I could talk about here. PlayStation 3. Hiding in here. Still enjoy that. PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, some overflow PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 4 games, Xbox 360, original Xbox games. Down here I've got a few Sega Saturn games I've got so far, a couple of PC games, official UK PlayStation Magazine demo discs, registered users demo disc and demo 1. And hiding there is a copy of Puzzle Bobble for Windows 95. And then further down we've got some Nintendo DS games and 3DS games, which are mostly the kids. Wii games hiding there. Back up here we've got my Sega Mega CD games, Commodore 64 games. And over here we've got a copy of Lemmings for the Commodore CDTV. Super Overdrive version 2 with a DSP chip, and currently the only 32X game I own, Doom, which I hope to get a few more of. But this game is actually pretty good, and I find it very impressive to actually play Doom on the Mega Drive, so it's well worth a look if you see it. Over here we've got, behind here we've got some more Mega Drive games hiding behind the rest of the stuff. Mostly EA titles, few EA Sports games, Jungle Strike, Desert Strike, no Urban Strike. I keep buying that one, keep not buying that one as the case is. I used to own it, sold it, keep rebuying Jungle Strike because that's the game I never had as a kid and that's what's in my mind, so kind of like a mental block to keep buying Jungle Strike for some strange reason. Got some Sony Pocket Stations, all working. And here we have what was originally a parts unit Game Boy, which I bought as broken on eBay, which I managed to restore back to working order. Little focus. There we go. great game too. Down here we have my Nintendo Entertainment System games. Got the Castlevania trilogy, although Castlevania 3 is currently in my Nintendo. A few boxes for Turtles and Turtles 2. Nintendo Game & Watch Turtle Bridge, my overall favourite LCD handheld. Got my original from childhood Super Mario Bros. 3 watch, still working. At the top here I've got a couple of trays of loose games for the Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, Game Boy Color. Got two NEO-GEO MVS cartridges there, the NEO-GEO MVS arcade system. Saturn memory card in that box as well, I just noticed. Revisit to the Mega Drive games. Forgot to mention, this is actually Gruss Newton's original copy of DJ Boy for the Sega Mega Drive. He offered this as a prize of sorts for a little mini competition he ran on the back of his Heaven and Hell series with Dave's Game Room. Gruss isn't a big fan of this game, and he offered this as a prize for whoever could get past the first boss in this game. I'd not played it before, I had a go, got past the first boss and then went on to actually complete the game, which actually I quite enjoyed overall, although I believe it's not one of his favourites, so thanks Gruss, it still gets a play every now and again. Very interesting, yet bloody weird. Right, here's my shelf of games consoles. Over here we have Mark 1 Mega Drive, Master System Converter. Master System Mark 1 with Alex Kidd and Miracle World built in. Commodore CDTV, which I've recently repaired. Sony PlayStation 3. Below that is my modified Master System 2 with 50-60Hz selection and outputs RGB SCART. My Sega Tower of Power, Mega Drive Mark 1 with Mega CD Mark 1 and a Mega Drive 32X unit. The Mega Drive is modified for 50-60Hz selection as well as language selection, and the 32X has got a 50-60Hz switch installed as well. Here's my Nintendo Entertainment System, which I've installed the NES RGB board into, so that outputs RGB SCART now. Below that is my Nintendo N64, which I've installed the N64 RGB board into as well, so that's also RGB SCART. Below that is my Super Nintendo, which I've got a 50-60Hz selection switch at the back of it. Next that's my Nintendo Wii. Below that, hiding, is my PlayStation 4. Across from that is my Xbox 360S. Above that is my Sega Saturn Mark 1, which is a power model, which is I've modified for 50-60Hz selection in the back, and in the back of it is a Japanese Sega Saturn memory card. Over here is my Sony PlayStation with an Explorer FX cartridge installed in the back of it, as well as a PC link-up cable, which is USB to serial for PlayStation for transferring memory card saves. And then below that, hiding, is my Sony PlayStation 2. And then below there are all the RGB SCART selection switches. Below that we have my Mayflash Arcade Fighting Stick version 2, which I've upgraded to soundwide entry parts. And then finally below that is my Yamaha RX V565 receiver, which handles all the outputs from all my consoles. A quick demonstration. Here's my PC here, the monitors. So fire up to Nintendo. So that's outputting RGB SCART. And if we want to, we can switch over to N64. Or we can switch over to a Super Nintendo. Or we can switch over to the Sega Master System. Or Sega Mega Drive. Or switch over to Sega Saturn. Or Sony PlayStation. And you get the idea. You can even do the Commodore CDTV, RGB SCART. Quite proud of getting that up and working finally. It's been a very long time coming. And then finally, I have this, which is my Consolised NAMCO System 12 TEKKEN 3 arcade board. So if we fire that up, we get TEKKEN 3. Big fan of TEKKEN 3, as you can tell. There's obviously the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox 360, but I'm not going to show you those. I've got a few other systems. Over here we've got my Consolised NEO-GEO MV1A, which also outputs RGB SCART. The on and off switch runs off a standard 12 volt power supply. 5 volts power supply even. Runs off a standard 5 volt power supply. I'm currently waiting on a new decoder board for that, and that'll be back up and running. And that's it. Thank you for watching.